Hello everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Wildermyth. Last time we left off, we just needed to get over here to kind of wrap things up and possibly get out of here. I don't know. I'm very sleepy right now, so we're gonna see how this goes. I believe last time I wanted to go for the combat buff, and then I might go for the Morthagi fight because I don't need the cat. Yeah, we might do that. So let's get the combat buff. It seems like it'll be a good one to just stack as many of those as we can. All heroes begin combat in Grey Plane is a pretty good one. And we are just going to be taking out a fair few of Thixel. So I guess I'll take care of this real fast. Alrighty. And we have finished the fight. Wasn't too bad. Wilder Guard, no, I'm good. An Osric? Have I seen one of those before? Ugh, looks terrifying. I don't know if I've seen one of those before. Card view, I think it's still Draven and Morthagi that are a problem. Or not Morthagi, Deepus. In that case... Pilots have extra health. Let's get rid of that one. I don't think the Mushrock's having extra armor is that big a deal. I am not going to do the hard Draven fight. I'm just gonna go for the Morthagi one. We still get an ability, I just don't get the cat, which I probably wouldn't use the cat anyway, so... there's a coachman here and a groundskeeper. Oh my god, and they're all right here. So, I got the skill with Elensfor. I think I want Open Mind, so we can go with 3 additional targets for interfusion, so I don't have to worry about withdrawing if I fill up, which seems really nice. Now the problem is we need to take care of some of these enemies right now, because we have a problem on our hands. That was a very scary moment for Vara here. Do not like that at all. She's extremely low HP because of a little boo-boo I made there. But I think she's gonna be fine. I just gotta get her the hell out of here. But yeah, I made a mistake with I didn't realize, so this was like a plant. And I didn't realize that Flare was going to destroy the plant. They actually couldn't get access to me for a bit there, but that screwed me over specifically. So I have to get Vara to a spot where she's just not gonna... Let's do that. Okay. I think we've recovered. I think these are like the final enemies here. So we should be fine. That Watchman's definitely gonna go down. Yeah, I can do a Discus here. Onto you. You blocked it. Cone of Fire. God, this thing has a lot of, yeah, extra HP. I mean, as long as it doesn't move to someone I really don't want it to move to, we're pretty much fine. I think we're good. I just don't want it hitting Vara. No! Damn it. Yeah, it just moved forward and hit me. Ah, that sucks. Damn it, I had this fight won too. It was just that. It was because, like, this right here, you can flare with it. And I didn't realize it was actually going to destroy the tree. I thought it would have had more than 2 HP, but... yeah, that was enough to destroy it, and then they were able to get to me without having to destroy the scenery. That was just an unfortunate mistake on my part, but at least this wasn't a hard fight. Alright, what ability do you get this time? So I didn't get my same one. No, well I guess that's my penalty for dying. So, for each interfuse object, you gain extra damage. Applies poison to enemies, upgrade Mythweaver. We'll upgrade Mythweaver. Not really what I wanted, but, you know. actually just gave them drive link. Whoops. My bad. This thing needs to go. Bye-bye, please. Oh, 75% chance. I mean, it's not the worst it's ever been, so can't truly complain. But, I should be able to hit both of you. Do pretty big damage. Our characters are just absurd at this point. Like Hughes is just crazy. The amount of damage he can output is absolutely wild. That Bashby's dead to fire, so I don't have to worry about it. Vara can go down here and take care of the Weldling, and we should pretty much be done here. There we go. Thank you, Vara. Oh, it did live. I thought it was gonna die. I guess it did get its warding back in time. Here you go. Now you're dead. And I believe that's every enemy. Thank you. Whew. Alright. I mean, it's probably gonna have to be... Ew, I don't like muses having extra health. But... Deepest, Shadow Hunter, extra damage... Draven, extra armor. Honestly, no. Out of these, the muse having extra health is the most annoying thing. I'll get rid of that. Blacksmith. I don't really think there's much I want here. Snarl of ribbon crevices and hills where the gusts groan hot and smell like scorched spices. Hugh's nostrils give birth to rivers reacting to the company, he'd claim, much more than to the atmosphere. Gonna make you a pike to break the very chains of the sky. As he seemed certain predicting, they had knocked into him again. Netherflare's traveling forge master Malrin. Lay your hands down and proffer 'em if you want such a thing. Marin Smelter Glare, Marin the Smithmost, Marin the Earth Traitorous Auk. Auk? No one wants the sky to fall. Not yet, anyway. No one does, eh? Well, then whatever you're needin'st for our course we must do. Me and my hammer and my fire unfree. Just don't go expecting no charity. Okay. You keep doing that, friend. Anything I need to upgrade? Honestly, not really sure. Aside from possibly some of this armor. If there's any I can even upgrade. Nope, there's not. So... yeah, I mean, everything else is mostly maxed out at this point. I guess this is where I would want to use my legacy points. So, let's work on getting people... I think better armor is going to be the most important thing first, so... this just cost 1 LP. Good. I do want to upgrade your weapon to the highest level, actually. So, that costs 9. It's a good amount of my legacy points. I don't even know if, like... you know, I guess maybe we could get these characters added into our legacy if I have more legacy points at the end, but I don't particularly feel a need to save them or anything. Not as much as I do in the normal runs. I don't know, though. Hughes, Calum, Vara... updating them in the thing... yeah, I mean, I don't think I need to go too overboard. That way, at least I have 10 left over. They leave the wagon side, wielding wonders only one man could easily have worked. No more in a Blitten bread cart. I don't think so. I am always astounded to see your craft. You never wanted it better in that bow? This served me well, Marin. I thank you. Clunk, clunk. You're behaving oddly, you know. Oh? I'm always pretty weird. There are no other offers you will make me? This nose is since attuned to the stink opportunity, and you know, I don't smell that on you right now, Elthiar. But then they're away. They've away. He begins to pull. Opportunities they've away are coming round again. If you falter for the final glaze of colors washed off this iron old world, then I'll be to barter with that wanton little heart of yours. Good news? Apologies if I'm being nosy. Keep thinking about the end of our road. It's a hard thing to think about right now. And a hard thing not to think about. I know it's not productive, except in order to be able to eventually face it with consideration. I slept well, Ellensfor, but you would not know whether or why. By the way, what's an auk? What is it? The auk was a dumb little bastard of an animal. A low terror of the early ages, a beast bent on badness and stinkery. Ada took it in his arms and combined it with its clay-hearted twin, until we were given the gentle ox to be our workmate. Yes, so the ox is really two ox, one a placid, companionable creature, the other a chaosy and ill-turned stubborn buns. I never did think much of whether that story was actually true, and you were never meant to. Alright, the campfire right before the final fight here. I begin to wonder, dear thing, dear Thieveline. Let us imagine something. Imagine you accomplish all you intend, your ambitions are realized. You watch, triumphant, as the glittering pelt sinks around those dragonfly bones, the vast spirit furls, reduced to one tiny opaline egg. What happens then, Do you know what else might collapse in the dragon's final throes, the absence there left? Will Orowe fill it? Will she take up all the yolks and yarns that spill slack on the shadow dragon's quaking floor? Crick, crick. If she does not, or if she is unhappy to, or if she but gradually bends down for those burdens, how many mountains and mists will topple without a fountain? Might you give a number? A vague estimate, even? You are far from guessing or considering, I suppose. There is a cosmic price, should Neverbefore shake or shatter. Creation may buckle, and it is not impossible you will die, or even somehow that she... Annihilation may come. It is no small chance. But that would be better than aborting my quest. Annihilation would be. Yes, because... if I will not fight to crown her, then I do not deserve to love her. And that would be terrific agony, I suppose, resigning yourself to thinking that. You are too young to your feelings, I have said, and I mean that I am too old to mine, or I mean that I am old to mine. But I was a girl for all my life's great decisions, and in fact, that is the only way I can explain them without wincing. I know that a girl, a child, a boy, thinks death is better than disappointment. But a woman, she has patience, learns, we learn. Because death, I think you have not really imagined it, Thieva dear. Call it something grim-gray as annihilation, and I see why it might seem distant, incomprehensible, but death is easy to understand. Love you may not yet realize, it begins and it ends. Even a mother's love, a father's love, even a god's. However much comfort you may find in the scent of her feathers, whether she is your sky or your ground, her love is not everything. Your life is. It is everything, Thieveline. It is all possibility, and death replaces that with nothing. So when you talk about Orowe's love, her love, it is life to me. It is the entirety of the ambition which has become me. A metamorphosis. An error. Doesn't it seem like an error to you? You are Thrixel originally. Even a guided change can have unintended ungood results and may still be undone. May be undone, perhaps, and yet... would you happily return to how you were, Orifel? A girl again? Would you blithely revert to the unshattered self, she who was you before the labor of all your cracking and growing? I would not. What it is like to want and to dread, I think you cannot grasp it because it has never escaped you. I would not go back, Orifel. From all and knowing the taste of nothing, to nothing, and knowing the taste of all. Well, I suppose it is fun to imagine something so small and corn-like as love could threaten the hills of creation. Truly a common vegetable sprouting in unlikely soil has brought summer to the winter mind, the Thrixel mind, and with it, the winds of ruin. It sure is perilous, crossing worlds. It gives you power, it gives you power. It gives you power and dooms you to seek power's ends. Any next step, our toes may touch the castle stones. I will no longer be your guide then. The country here feels hardened. Lights and colors denser, shadows blacker and more wiry. They all can sense Journey's end. It's like an eye open to them. I like that thing. The Shrewd, unmeaty under all his armor. It's well to remind you that home's not coming over the hill. Sometimes I forget where's some world else. Tells me any place I could get used to. Yeah. Forgetting can be self-kindness, though. Like, I notice I try not to think of the fact that we did all this in order to attend a foreign gala. An Neverbefore ball. Your hand wrote an invitation, Elthiar, and it makes me feel a little stupid. Imagining how far it traveled and that it worked on us, it summoned us here. I don't know what all it would mean, I'll admit. I figured for some reason that the road would be easier than this. Without recalling all the details, Ellensfor, I have the sense that you pulled me in. You laid words out for me like traps. The omen, the road, the old unsettledness. Concepts that captivate me. I'm sure to have spoken of them often. I was being overly stubborn, sorry. But just to explain, I didn't think it was my call. Isn't it more like you let me convince you? You had some reason of your own for this journey? Is what I sort of supposed. I apologize if that's not the case, but I'd also ask, isn't that the case? I guess I do know it to be true. Part of me was feeling slighted, yeah, I felt deserving of a more satisfying end. Black Hall is beautiful. That is where the ball will be. Beautiful, and the Citadel will be beautiful. Glyphrix too, an unforgettable grin, a grandiosity that is subtle somehow. Sneaks in while you are nodding comfortable and quietly unmoors your imagination. You only notice later that a dragon has been here. But none of these sensations now seems enough. Not beautiful enough. Not breathtaking enough. Not answering to the mighty gusts I bring. I know, after all, that it was not really for a dance you passed the pale. I also know that Glyphrix has prepared nothing besides, so it is awkward. Awkward. You all have endured a lot to come here, and I am hoping you will not be disappointed. Yeah, I mean, sometimes the journey's the experience, but this journey's been kind of awful. I mean, except for Ellensfor, he met someone that he's very, very much into, but yeah, a lot of the rest of us, I mean, we saved Vara and Calum from, like, a life of being stuck in, like, a, you know, basically reliving the same battle over and over again and not realizing they're just stuck in that particular moment. We got them out of there, but Hughes hasn't really gotten much of this, except for his thirst for adventure, I guess? He got to sate that. Won't be. We won't be. I mean, I could be wrong, of course, but I think this group's pretty insightful. You've all taught me a lot, and definitely at least about being able to see the value in uncomfortable things. I think we'll be pretty content. In my case, it is a dragon we are speaking of, an ancient being. Alive since the first flames, when Hada Rohana wept for Kanada, and the cause 5 wonderful vessels broke, and her children were born a wing. So I can say earnestly, and without pause, even my wilder ambitions are, to this point, well exceeded. But if I am to meet a dragon, do not worry that it will not be enough. Yeah. Glyphrix, 5th dragon, Shadow Dragon. Glyphrix to whom we owe everything. You never found your way back to the world you're from. How are you not driven crazy by that, and what's it like? What's it like? I kind of want to ask. What's it like to be clever and charming and strong and courage-filled? I only know what it's like to see a sour sky and be bitter. Think of old friends and grow scared. Scared more than sad, I've realized. I've become that way, but I want to at least tell you, I actually do like you now. You're weird. All the color-thudding universe continues to be. Pulses of heat from a ground flame eddy on their faces. This was a pretty good group. You take journeys, you don't know how many there'll be. But I'll tell you, this one with this group was among my favorites. Oh, decisions pile? Wonder if I'd ever get bored of go plants if I was, Use I wonder, would a plant like this survive if you took it back? Where would you let it grow? I'd be hesitant to let it grow anywhere. Even a plant can be a conqueror. No telling how it might interact with our gardens, our bugs, beasts, birds, our soil. Exactly! Thank you, Hughes! So what people need to realize what invasive species are. It can happen with plants, it can happen with animals, come on. Ellensfor, Hmm? See it with me. She turns. A herald wind strikes the dust from their sleeves, as the castle at last comes to meet them. The death of our adventure. Distant sounds of living speckle that stillness. Palace for the playful. I remember Captain Onya saying something like that. The Queen's palace was lavish, its walls short, quaint, and pretty. The armories dusty and bare. In my youth, the only battles I was expected to win were fought with words or pranks. This one looks much grander, of course, but I'm reminded of Calm Court. Is it a good time up there? Up in those highest towers? How high would you say they are? High enough for a dragon to boast of. It's a view you might enjoy. How did it ever get built? How did it? It never exactly did. Or I mean, the building is eternally incomplete. Ongoing, it is added to, subtracted from. As often as ideas come, green ideas on grey ideas, whims heaped on whims. Choices folded into other choices. It is an anthology, the fantasy of innumerable brains dead and living. Though as you might think, Lifrix is its chief imaginer and decider. Monarch. Any warnings, LTR? I will of course be rude, but how rude can I safely be? Just want to ask for everyone else's sake. Or that's... well, actually, it's more of a diplomatic... it's more diplomatic than she usually is, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, she's a dragon hunter. She's probably not going to be super nice to the dragon. Warnings? Yes. Yes, there are dire warnings. Dire, and I knew I would have to say them, and yet... I found myself delaying, over and over again, choosing to delay. I was given good cause to delay, I think, but still, I am sorry. There is no more delaying I can do since we are here and we are friends. And I will not shy any longer from telling you everything. LTR makes her accounting then, finishes the story of where she went when the expedition was young. She speaks about the nature of the ball. And they will go for the first time with a true idea of what to expect. Okay. Now, I would like to... we're at 36 minutes. I would like to end it off here, but I know I've cut out too much stuff. Because we did this fight, and then we basically just had like 2 conversations. That's not enough for a video. But like starting this, I don't know how long this is going to take. That's the weird thing with playing this game is like... It's also, of course, very late for me right now. We're gonna see the cutscene. When I get into whatever this battle is, we'll see what happens. Bread is bad, it doesn't bleed. You disagree? Hey, do you disagree? You rooch. Girls seem heedless as ever, Igar. Elthiar, good, reprimand them. They're heeding less than heedless. Whoa. Never answer me straight. Hard when you don't share a language. Yes, it's terrible, but LTR, it's worse than terrible. Naturally. LTR, the Gwirls must know something. I've pondered this, and so it's true. There must be something they know. They hold it over us, whatever it is. Shall I report it to their master, then? Oh, yeah. It's a good idea, the dragon. Promise you will. I just promised. Glyphrix had better berate them this time, or I'll be making gargoyles somewhere else, say. Have you lived here long? Think I'd tell a spy? Hey you, respond. Bread is bad, it doesn't bleed. Bread is bad? I don't know what would drive you towards that idea, but I'll try a blood loaf. If sampling it's free? You try a what? Who are you? Use Griff. Soon only a memory of yours. What a weirdo. The city inside the Citadel is an embarrassment of architectural splendors, strung around and snarled with excess infrastructure, avenues, alleys, loops, bridges, bypasses. The metropolis of Etel Detwive. Warm haze clings to the vein curls of buildings and the narrow walk-betweens. Every odor of breeze runs down the broader streets. Etel Detwive, Cottage of Twilight. Cottage is an interesting word for it. Hardened grime lines the seams and corners of most things, but sweet smells waft from a near plaza. Fruit roasting, pastry baking, flour frying, meats bursting their crusts. Go insane if I spent a week here, but I might enjoy it. Admittedly, to my eyes, a dream. The city is sparsely peopled for its size, but it's by no means empty. Guy sells gargoyles or just makes them? Faces reveal themselves, some clearly curious, others less legible. Here, as nowhere else, I could point which lane goes where, and you could continue on your own. But that being said, please follow close. There's worse folks to meet than Igar, right? I think that's what's got you worried? Or, sorry, I know we... Can you... Smells sun on you, Eordrin. Hughes? Caleb? Come on, we don't want to be late. Prudence must overpower inquisitiveness today. I don't say so with any relish. Hughes is so cool. There is no arriving late. Or early. Time has no universal measure here. You each keep your own clock, your moment and your memory contained in your mind. There are whirls in the pattern where the moments of many beings fuse. Are, I think, made to fuse by design, the Neverbefore Ball will be one of these, a convergence event, uniting the present moment of its attendees. It will begin not at an hour, but with the arrival of its guests, and so all will seem to arrive together. A tumbledog tune whiskers at the light. Actually kinda nice, it's usually the other way around. The song? Sorry, yes, but no, thinking of something you once said. The player hugs her instrument in shade upon an iron balcony. Whirl? Elthiar. Elthiar, you two rangers tried to wander. There's ghosts out there, Elthiar. Beyond the city, graveless ghosts, reeking of unfed frustration. You can go anywhere for wanting to return. Kavench. What? Screw that catch. Okay. Very angry raccoon, I think? Or just a person wearing a mask. I understand your concerns, but mind what you call me. Truck. A shy one. Kor have... Oh, did Kor have so many... I have a great many kinds of people? Certainly not this many. You're rangers. Since we met. Careful, Quinn. That small blade she's showing has seen use. Arriving in the city, it will be a concussion of sounds and images to Ellensfor. Glimpses of his trail-tested friends' brave eyes bright over their anxiety. Stains of color on the rippling maze of dimension and darkness heaped behind any familiar profile. These memories are stark, powerful memories in some ways. They are oblong memories. Ellensfor? They but slightly seem to graze each other. They won't stack well separately. They each can be wholly held. And fog shreds of that beautiful voice, hers, then barely listened to, will cling in the branches and bracken of his mind, as he lifts these polished creekstones from the bed of his remembering. A lost and longing way we look ahead and behind, instead of at our current place. Oh, missing an R there. There's no deciding the future, so I wish sometimes we would stop making such an effort at it. I wanted to do like you asked, Ellensfor. I'd be a gentle study of your will, your way, even your walk. Sorry if it's... But I think perhaps our road is at its end. It's making me feel stupid trying to... or finding the proper way to tell you things I could maybe tell you improperly and then it'd be fine. Showing you respect, though, it's important. Come out rough, maybe, and say, I don't care if I survive this, unless I know I can see you when the fighting's done. Courage and haste, or feel it's important. That I'm giving you the proper respect and that you're respecting me. I have a decision ahead, but Courage and haste are too good. Insight and stoicism is nice, but yeah, we're going courage and haste. It is eerie to me, Ellensfor. Though I am sure you can't know it, there is someone you will soon meet whose sentiments you so nearly echo. But I'm a little shocked by the warmth I feel, hearing them from you, hearing them about me. Is there hope, at least? If I thought I knew how this all might truly end, I would say so. We should go in. We are being looked at. With one nudge, soft as a wish, the last door disappears before them. Into the black hall, but... Approach the dais last. In our polite society, you appreciate the rooms and refreshments before cornering your host. We'll know when. It'll be quite obvious, so first, enjoy yourselves. Enjoy ourselves. Treat it like a challenge, maybe. That's what my mom would tell me. Something to overcome. Ellensfor passes through, a gentleness in his gait, his bearing that is not unconfident. The others follow. The ballroom blossoms with voices and fire. Every shadow-teeming corner hides a face. Currents of perfume, some familiar and others unique, eddy around shoulders and turned heads pour from sleeves. Party guests mill, most of them speaking low, and their laughter drifts along with their scents as they migrate between tables and groups. Not every glance is warm, but there is wonder in their eyes too. A waltz, sweet and solemn, like a large spirit, fills these wide rooms. Roves among columns and colors the air, rustling through drawers of the heart, ruffling the hair. I recognize this tune, actually. When I close my eyes, lost pink wandering moons are their mirthful cheeks, dead darling faces. Would we have been friends, Caleb, if we'd met in your calm court? Us? Yes, I'm sure we would have been, even though I am a very privileged girl. No, but I would have always seen the real you. You're good inside. Delicacies of competing palates, human and beyond, ride beside each other on herds of well-dressed tables. Some dishes cold, some hot, some oily, some not. One odor whips the nose while another seduces. I will be disappointed if you don't sign the guest book. Spider, I'm thinking. If a spider grew sentient and wanted to throw a party for flies, conceptually, I think it'd mostly mirror this. Spiders are very artful creatures, and yet they don't have quite the ambition for a party so large. Yes. You see, though, now, how wide we cast our nets? Elthiar had revealed certain secrets to the group just before bringing them up to the transpiral stair at the Citadel's base. I persisted in my disregard, and I suppose Glyphrix, too, had no real concerns. But then I saw those grudge-bold ghosts arise, and how the Omries forced their mouths over us. So the Neverbefore ball? Sorry. It was always just a wonderful excuse to gather heroic story characters together in one place. See, we have no real defenses here. Glyphrix's royal guard? That sounds nice, and you can imagine them all tabarded in black and clacking swords together, sweating in the yard. I can certainly imagine them. But there's simply no such thing. Normally semblance of an army, only quarrels. So a fighting force had to be found, or lured, maybe. All but outright coerced in the coming? Yes, thank you, succinctly put. Suppose an invitation to a ball always did seem strange, even to me. So the guests were being asked to guard this place. You prune too tightly to the buds, my dear. Guests won't be asked to do anything. There is some expectation, perhaps, that they'll guard their own lives and then... Oh! How fortunate, should those efforts serve Dudley to protect the hall of their host. Oh, Thear, she's... had to happen, I think. Kavan. Your brother is Kavan. Dragon's head perks. Then comes smoothly around. Glyphrix's voice is like a purr or a prayer. It is soft, but it is heard. Perhaps solely by force of intention. What uncommon eyes are in your head if they've indeed beheld him. The breath of those jaws is water-smelling, with the faint reek of steel. They have... Sunlit Kavan brings summer with him. He is a joyous flyer, a wandering aurora. When he's young, his glorious voice is beloved. He sings more than any of us. That kid sounds nice. I'm talking about Kavan, who killed basically everyone. He even kills you, doesn't he? But you must kill him too. Kavan loses his sister first. He does not remember, for finding her sends him into senselessness, anger, but also terror. He dies many times, not in one continuum, but across them all. Fear's what slays dragons, their own fear, clips the wings from their once free minds, sends them crawling into marshes of blood. The dragon monarch of Netherflare reclines in a spot where nearly every scale's width of the hall would be visible. My brother never masters his fear. The heights of agony are all he ever achieves. But why should I be made to think of these things? Why should I be forced to walk the path to been and done? It only loops back here. I don't know if you can outlive ghosts, but the past haunts me, breaks my wrist and yanks me along. And you'd wish I'd take that stroll with you this time. I prefer to know names if I'm to walk in company. Just Vara. Astray with Elthiar, I walked your realm confused, and honestly I'm tired of I think I existed, or when? Questions like that. You accompanied my most annoying friend. Perhaps you are owed an apology. As they've spoken, there's been no change in the general hubbub, the sweeping music. It's as if this whole conversation has happened silently in one keen glance. Life's fragile, Vara, and for all the ills dragons have wrought and willed, killing was originally our intention. Though, when she-eye prods me that way, I do feel as if I could create the whole concept anew. Me, I was merely reluctant to intrude. Listen to how she speaks, it's so unfashionable. I'm a lady of mountainous sophistication. I am even above even such fine things as fashion. Should I apologize? See. In any case, I must now take the floor. It's interesting, it's like Vara and the dragon are actually friends because they both don't like LTR too much. It's as if all the members of her party coalesce around the dais. That LTR's betrayal begins to unfold. Take the floor? Why? Stepping towards the center of the hall, she makes a rune on her face that none can read. She obeying her own judgment or acting at the unseen direction of another? For my freedom. I would even see the dragon dead. Eveline, I invite you to the Twilight City, to the Black Hall where and when we bide. To the Neverbefore ball, come, you are invited, and I shall not lift my bow to harm you. I promise this, and I vow too, Glyphrix shall receive no warning. Along with any I have the power to bring, promise it. Any you who? Who can you mean? Promise it. Alright then, I do so swear, but it depends on my return. I should find my companions before they are truly lost. If that is your oath, we may call this a deal struck. Yeah, so that's how you bought your freedom out of that particular situation, saying that you would, lead us over there and kill the dragon. So it happens this way? Yes, it happens quickly. A rift in place, a lapse in moment, brings him through. Fate I foresaw. Is my handiwork, sorry. And I am sorry, I never thought I would be the loose lock. Well, that's why they're heroes. True, that is why they are heroes. Eveline flares his glistening carapace and cries wide with echoing emotion. Invited be and sate yourselves. It's beautiful, though barely comprehensible, a many-timbered voice making harmony with itself. A bardic drone thrums from his body, a noise that grows brain-slittingly sharp if you listen to it. Feast on the throne thief! Now phantoms pour through the shrinking rift, seeming not so eager to heap upon the dragon, as they are to quench their pain on the crowded round living. Sometimes I wish I were a flyer instead of a digger. You're above helping us, isn't that how you think, ancient dragon like yourself? You want me to feel ugly, but I am above you. I'll help, I fight mostly with words these days. But I'll be sure to say some nasty ones. I've saved some ulky acerbicisms. Good. 2 not words. Great wave of specters washes through before the rift finally seals. But they are met and matched. The general astonishment passes, and minor skirmishes flow outward as foaming ghosts meet ranks of mythic partygoers. It's alright, let's just keep our heads, it's not too many for us. Yeah. There's more arriving by the moment. What? Reality is thin here, and the great bard's voice is sheer and strong. New portals are actively being cut into the scene, monsters boiling forth, and behind them dreadful forgotten shapes stir as if from sleep. Fanged chaos pursues the soon outbodied defenders to the room's edges. Tell me you will be careful, Ellensfor. No oaths, I would of course insist, but... You still doubt me, I guess. Hi. You and I have waded through some muck together, but you have not faced... Please, LTR, I'm sorry, but our fellow guests... it's too close, keep it back! Why? I think it's on us to save them, isn't it? No, ew, it got on me! Pretty hard-pressed in getting hemmed in. If we cut them free, though, they live. Maybe then they want to help take Evelyn down. No, yours is the calmer head, and mine the weathery mess. Yes, I can't hurt Evelyn, I swore it so, but I can do everything else in my power so that you and the rest of your friends will outlive the twilight. They're your friends too, don't be dramatic. Song of Animus, skirling from spectral throats and filling the hall. Whirling and resounding, the song of all resentment unresolved. Thievelyn rushes the dais. Glefrix, see the ruin of your dreams. My dreams aren't even in your range, little one. It's an unforgettable spin they all take, combatants taking the steps of a dance they know well. Fend off, feint, kill when you can, survive. There will never be another ball like it. Okay, and is this gonna have all kinds of enemies? Well, I'm glad I got all these stupid buffs. Thievelyn, the music of each movement swells the heart of any hearing being. You know what? We can save this for next time. Oh my god. Okay. Glifrix must survive, kill Thievelyn 0 of 3, kill 12 enemies to free up reinforcements. Oh my god. Okay. Well, that's gonna be a lot, and we're gonna save that for next time, I think. So, let's read this real quick. When Thievelyn's health bar is depleted, new monster portals open. Thievelyn has 3 stages that must be defeated. Between each stage, he will open another monster portal. Portals spawn monsters for 3 turns. Okay. Well, we're gonna tackle that next time. I was worried that was gonna be a lot of dialogue, and it was, but I managed to get through it, and I'm very exhausted now, so we are gonna save, and I'll pick it up next time, like I said. So, see you then.